today. She's a mommy.
I would be worried about that kid.
Please, show love, kids.
I didn't invite you in, but my son is home.
I'll meet the little man. Who is?
This is my son.
What's up, bro? That's a grown man's man.
Grand Prix tonight on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
The selection, styles, and savings you want are at Cherry House Furniture Galleries. Save 50% off on all of the furniture in our store during our anniversary sale. Come to Cherry House Furniture Galleries in LaGrange.
Today, President Biden visited Mississippi to announce help for people in areas destroyed last week by deadly tornadoes. The president announced his administration will cover the full cost of the state's emergency response. That includes all costs for opening shelters, paying overtime to responders, and debris removal for the next 30 days. President Biden also announced the Federal Emergency Management Agency is opening disaster recovery centers in 4 counties across Mississippi. Last weekend's storm killed at least 26 people and knocked out power for tens of thousands of homes and businesses. The storms also trapped people in their homes and tore through Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee. Right now, there are more than 300 federal personnel on the ground working to help with a disaster response.
As we say goodbye to the month of March, we are seeing more severe weather across the region. Back out to our west, tornadoes have been on the ground doing damage. We've got our eyes on some of the storm chasers. We'll show you those live images and give you an updated forecast for us here at home. What to expect on this alert day. Your 10-day earliest alert forecast is just 30 seconds away.
Morning, everyone. Would anyone like to share?
Doc, I'm not doing too good. They said it'd take 2 months to do my kitchen and spend 6.
My contractor gave me a price and raised it $10,000 after my kitchen was completely torn apart.
Guys! I called Connors for my kitchen remodel, and not only was the selection process super simple, but the experience was great from start to finish.
Where's everybody going? We're going to Connors.
Your kitchen done right. Come to Connors.
Wow.
We have had storms. You see a storm tracker here, Kevin. I know that you have done this before. How dangerous is this?
Well, on board in all of these weather vehicles, and this comes from our sister station up in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So we have 113 stations across the country, and this is just one of them, chasing and tracking storms. Most of the time, either a meteorologist is on board in the vehicle, or there's one back at the station directing it on where to go.
So no tornado that they're seeing yet.
Well, not in this image, but they're obviously trying to get in place to intercept one, and they've had a number of tornadoes across Iowa today, and that stretched down through Illinois and into Missouri and Arkansas and now into Tennessee. So what we're seeing is, an outbreak of severe weather that's really developed within the last hour or two back out to our west, and it is moving in our direction, Dawn.
Yeah, so what we need everybody to know is, number one, make sure you have your TV turned here because our storm team will be with you. They need their weather alert radio, and then also hopefully they've got the Wave Weather app.
Well, there's a number of ways, and we always say everybody should have more than one way to get the warning. It's just good to have a redundancy when it comes to life or death, and that happens especially at night as these storms move through. Now, let me be very clear. I don't want to scare everybody tonight. This isn't going to be a major outbreak for us, but it is out to our west, and the storms are moving in our direction. So follow with me over the next 3 minutes here, and you'll get a clear picture of what we think is going to happen here at home. First of all, you can see nothing's going on here at this point. They have extended the tornado watch to the south. It now covers the far western half, at least, of Tennessee. Tornado warnings are out near Memphis, back across Arkansas, where we saw the tornado on the ground in Little Rock, did damage in West Little Rock. Tornado watches go all the way up across Missouri, into Illinois, and including now Chicago. Notice the warnings up into that area as well, across the northern half of Illinois. So there are really 2 zones, north and south, and we're waiting to see how that line fills in out towards St. Louis. That's what's moving in our direction. I do think we're going to see some thunderstorms, and because of the nature of the atmosphere, with very strong winds aloft, it only takes a thunderstorm to pull some of those down. I think wind is going to be our biggest issue with this, but with the shear in the atmosphere as well, can't rule out an isolated tornado. The best timing for us is going to be mid to late evening, 10, 11, midnight tonight. By 2 o'clock, it's already off to our east and fading away. Temperatures will be in the 50s early tomorrow morning and likely staying in the 50s throughout the day tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a windy day, too, by the way. But the alert day is for today because of the threat of severe weather this evening. And again, the timing on that across the entire viewing area, starting to our west at 8, moving out to our east by 2. The damaging wind threat and isolated tornado threats are the highest threats that we'll be watching. Moving to the east, they will be weakening, especially as the night wears on. We're in the enhanced risk area for severe weather with that moderate risk sort of clipping the northern counties. That goes up past Indianapolis and back out to the west. There's even a high risk, and that's rare. A wider map on that in just a second. Let's talk about the timing again, because this is important, especially as the sun sets. Between now and about 8 o'clock, just some rain. We're going to have periods of rain. We see that now on the radar. Between 9 and 2, that's the best potential for severe weather. And the wind advisory will go until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. I mentioned it's going to be windy. We could see wind gusts tomorrow on the order of 45 to 50 miles per hour. These are rain totals since midnight. We've picked up about a half an inch of rain here in Louisville. Again, I don't think flooding is going to be an issue because these storms are moving fairly fast. Let's get outside. A cloudy sky has been partly sunny a time or two today. That's been enough to add even more energy to the atmosphere. The wind is doing a trick of its own, but any amount of sunshine certainly going to make things a little more robust. And we are clearing it out, but the sun is setting, obviously. So while we have rain spilling across central Kentucky, none of that is severe. In fact, if I stop it, you can see there are a few bolts of lightning with it, but the bulk of the lightning is with storms back out to the west and even a few that moved through southern Indiana over towards Cincinnati. When you look at this mess, you can see the zones of concern. One around northern Illinois. Lots of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. It's closer to the area of low pressure, out ahead of the cold front. And another one off to the south that would eclipse parts of Arkansas and western parts of Tennessee. Those are the zones, really, that the Storm Prediction Center highlighted, saying that's our high-risk area. This is where the atmosphere really is primed for severe weather and, in particular, for tornadoes. Again, when you look from St. Louis down to Memphis, that's moving in our direction. And right now, there's not a whole lot happening there. There are storms. There will be some wind. And I suspect we'll see an uptick in some of the warnings this evening. The greatest warning potential for tornadoes is to our west. The wind potential, yeah, that's what we're going to have to watch closely. Again, that moves in tonight, pointing out the timing. To our west, our westernmost counties, 8 to 10, along I-65 and a county on either side, 10 to midnight. It's moving out of here midnight to 2 a.m. A wind advisory is in place tomorrow to account for those strong winds that we will have to sort of battle through the morning hours in particular. 67, that's the current temperature in Louisville, winds gusting to 28. Weather tonight could be severe at times, and then in the forecast for tomorrow, some sun. That'll add mixing to the atmosphere, those strong winds through the morning. Could gust to 50. Sunday's the pick of the weekend. Another alert day next Tuesday, and then cooler later in the week. We'll take a quick break. More Wave News when we come back. Welcome into